turned a classic tale of innocence, the struggle between good and evil, into a CGI Hollywood fuckfest of stupidity. There are so many things wrong with this film outside of the fact that it bastardized the source material. Easily worst movie I've ever seen. No stars. Drake Sue. That's from Rotten Tomatoes. And that is a review of our first episode and first movie we live tweeted, Dragonball Evolution.
You mean Dragon Ball Fuckfest of stupidity?
Yes, that's probably the correct term. That is what we will call it from this point henceforth. And yeah, welcome guys. This is our first episode of our show. Did you have to?
Oh, I'm Kate.
and I'm LaNeysha. I probably botched that too. But no, that's Kate. I'm LaNeysha. We're your hosts. And yeah, this is a podcast where we watch live adaptations of the animes that we loved. Probably screwed that tagline, but we'll get it together one day.
Episode 1. There's gonna be some mess ups.
Just a few. But yeah. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in for our first episode. Very excited to be here. Very excited to talk about anime things and, also bad anime related things. But yeah.
Yeah, fun. I think it's one of those things that, like, in our generation, right, like, our otaku hearts began on Shonen and Tsunami. And unfortunately, those are the things that the U.S. likes to make adaptations of, and not do them very well.
Absolutely. You just wrote an article about this on the website, and I loved it because I just feel like, people love to take the things that we love and try to make them live action, and then it does not turn out well because, I don't know. I feel like eventually we'll get to the time where there's a great live action anime movie. However, I also don't have much faith in anime always translating well to like live action because people don't want to follow the source. That's just my opinion. That's why it usually fails, is because people want to try and, make it appealing to the masses, or they completely botch it and destroy it and kill all of our dreams like they did in this movie. So, yeah.
Tell me how you really feel.
I will tell you how I will. If you guys didn't join us for our live tweet, you should check out our tweets from that movie. But yeah, I will go ahead and read the synopsis. Oh my god, it's going to be funny. So, let's get into it. On his 18th birthday, Goku, played as Justin Chatwin, receives a mystical Dragon Ball as a gift from his grandfather. There are only 6 others like it in the whole world, and legend has it that whomever possesses all 7 will be granted one perfect wish. When the arrival of dark forces triggers a tragedy, Goku and his companions are compelled into an epic quest to collect the 7 Dragon Balls and save the Earth from destruction. So yeah.
Vaguely reminiscent of the beloved anime Dragon Ball.
You gotta give them credit. On some places, they still had the Dragon Balls. That is a part of the source.
They numbered them correctly.
They numbered them all correctly. And, the fact that Goku's a teenager and he's in high school and goes to school with Chi-Chi, that's some bullshit. I'm sorry. Oh, and Goku's white.
Yeah. At least Piccolo's still green.
What did they do with his antennas, though? What did they do with his antennas?
They're nowhere. They're gone.
And they called him Lord Piccolo. I'm like, I'm sorry, no, his name is King Piccolo. Stop it. I know I'm nitpicking, but we have a lot to nitpick over this movie.
There's so much. Because, that's the thing. I think with this movie, there's a lot to nitpick because there's stuff that was changed that absolutely did not need to be changed. And,
like Bulma.
Why? And this is, my biggest, pet peeve is you really think a giant-ass pigtail wrapped in a giant-ass hair is more realistic than, some blue hair. Really? Really?
Hair.
I don't care who you are. You don't have that much hair on your head, and that little blue streak is not enough. Just give her a head full of blue hair if you're going to do that.
I was really trying to figure that out the whole time. I'm like, why is she struggling with this huge-ass ponytail on the top of her head? Because I'm like, logistically, running, that would hurt.
Yeah.
That would hurt so much. And then, like, because we couldn't just give her blue hair. Not in a world where there's an alien. We couldn't just give her blue hair. We had to give her that one skinny streak that didn't make any sense as a dye job. That also goes through her ponytail. I'm just like, I'm done. I'm tired. Y'all are frustrating. And the capsule was wrong. Everything was wrong. You couldn't even give us the capsule. It have no joy.
Oh, that was. I'm just like, the entire time, like, Vegeta's crying somewhere.
Yes. That's another good thing. Vegeta wasn't in this movie. That is
very true.
That is a good thing. We will keep that in mind when we get to the good thing. Because could you imagine if they actually went through and made a sequel? If you guys would like to know, this was made in 2009. It was directed by James Wong, and it had a budget of $30 million, and it made $57.5 million back domestically. So yeah,
nobody liked this movie.
Nobody. I refuse to believe that people actually enjoyed this movie.
And like the craziest thing is that it was in development since 2002. That's 7 years, and this is what we got.
I mean, and then in that time frame, Dragon Ball, like the Dragon Ball Z, the series has been going on for years, currently, and still has. So I just feel like you see how much people like the source material. Why not actually use the source material in it? I would have loved it if y'all actually just had Goku be a child and Bulma be a teenager, as they are.
Yeah.
What is he, 13 or 16 when he meets her and he's 10? Acceptable. Completely acceptable. And have them go on their journey. And then he grows up. But no, you tried to do too much.
Yep. And I think, like, ultimately, this is the biggest problem. And I, like in an essay that I wrote, like this is my biggest problem. I think this is what happens is that, like, when the U.S. adapts stuff, it's like, oh, this is a widely successful franchise. It can't be because these fans love reading this Japanese-style story where it's focused on a superpowered character who is OP and doesn't need to become OP. He just is, and it's an inner battle with themselves and not so much them trying to find things. Like, no, let's take all of that out and let's turn it into, like, goddamn Rocky, but named Goku. And he's going to have to train and find himself in all this sense. Like, no, just stop. And then, and nobody's going to identify with any of these characters, so we got to make them in high school because high school's super relatable. Just no. Like, people felt amazing and, identified with a tiny baby Goku with a damn monkey tail.
Yes.
You didn't have to change it. It was good for a reason.
Oh my god. That's just, I mean, as you guys can see, we're deep in the discussion already, but like, we're not going to give it shot by shot, but like, we can just like kind of go into it as Robert. But yes. I wanted little Goku, as much as I don't, like, it's popularly known on Twitter, I don't care for Goku.
He's a bad father.
He's a bad father. He's a bad husband. He dies all the time. He just needs to get his shit together and grow. But you know what? That's the thing about Goku. He doesn't always have growth. And he's not like Vegeta, our fave, because let's talk about growth. That's a man who was a mass killer and turned into a great father and husband. So just going to stop right there before this becomes a Vegeta podcast. But anyways, which we will do that too.
Vegeta kid.
Yes. It's just very... it's frustrating because even as like I was watching the movie, I haven't watched this movie since, I'm gonna say I bootlegged the movie the first time I saw it when I was in like 2000. I was in high school. I was just like, let me just get this because like it looked bad from the trailer, but I'm like, let's give it a shot. I'm still hopeful and I'm young. I was wrong. I was so wrong.
I bought it from the flea market, so like was it like $3 for it?
Money well spent. That's about as much as it was worth. Because it's just so bad. I mean, like, God, it does terrible as far as, like you said, they want us to make us feel for the character, but it's like, Goku was a young kid, like, in the beginning in Dragon Ball. He's just this young kid who loses his grandfather. He was never around other people. He was basically only raised by his grandfather. He was raised in the wild. So having him become this high schooler, it's just like... It's like fan fiction. It was like a horribly written fan fiction.
Yes, and like a passive fan, like in a passive high schooler at that. I'm like, Goku loves fighting.
Loves it. He embraces it.
Like that is his thing, and that's something that he has to deal with in himself, not the like, oh, I'm holding back because I don't want to hurt you. I could smash all of them, Grandpa. Like, no. Goku goes in there and he smashes all of them and he messes up and has to deal with the consequences.
Yes. And what was up with that self-esteem? Because, like, Goku ain't never had bad self-esteem. I'm like, no. I hate the character, but I will definitely say he's never struggled with self-esteem.
If anything, he needs to have a little less self-esteem.
True. Because he's like, fighting? What? Yes, I will fight you. I'm happy to fight you to the death and test my abilities, because he loves to compete, because he's a Saiyan. Because even when he got his head bumped, that was still his instincts was to fight. So not having him fight is just, or like having him hold back the urge to fight.
They Superman'd him. That's what they did. They Superman'd him. They tried to make him a sane Clark Kent. That's what they tried to do. No, get your American stories out of my Japanese material.
True. Because even though, like, I think it's been said that, like, Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, like, he was a fan of, like, the Superman mythos, like, the story. That's great. And yes, like, you can obviously make the connections between the two. But, like, how great would it have been if they just, like, honestly stuck to some of that source material of, like, seeing Planet Vegeta, seeing Goku being sent away, seeing his father, like, because I love Bardock. It's very conflicting. I hate Goku, but I love his father. But, like, seeing, like, the first few minutes, not even seeing the people faces, just seeing the, like, no, instead, he came to Earth on a comet because he's the reincarnation of Uzaru, which, if y'all know source material, Uzaru is actually just the transformation that the Saiyans go into to become the Great Ape, which is dumb because instead of just saying he was an alien who was sent from another planet to Earth, they decided, let's not do all that. So in my brain, they had no intentions of connecting him to his Saiyan roots. I think they were going to erase all of that, including we would never get a Vegeta in a sequel. So I feel like they were just going to erase it all because their whole concept was like, instead of making him an alien from outer space who's a warrior who's sent to Earth to destroy it, let's just say he's this reincarnation of this giant beast. Cool? No, not cool.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing, and like I guess because like Akira Toriyama had like enough of like the Superman flair, but it wasn't like a Superman like story, right? Because like Superman is down on himself, he holds himself back, he does all. It was like the opposite. Like, what happened if Superman dropped somewhere and could just do all his super things and then be Superman all the time?
Yeah,
like that's the difference. And like for me, like, and like kind of how like this whole like Ozaru thing and like what affects me is Gohan. I hate the pronunciation.
It hurts.
Gohan, his grandfather dying, and it's like a house fell on him. Like in the source material, we're gonna bring it up a lot, as you can tell. We're aware of it. Yes. The moment that Gohan dies, it's important because Goku realizes that he actually caused this. Yeah. And like it's like this giant emotional moment that happens because Goku, spoiler, ends up naming his son Gohan after his grandpa Gohan. And here it's just like, oh, Lord Piccolo came and brought the house down and now your grandpa's dead. Like that, it's nothing. It's like it has to do with this like internal conflict, which anime does so well. Of like, I'm this super powerful character. I've done something unbeknownst to me. I've now realized this, and I have to deal with the internal consequences of my actions. And like there's just such an over the headness. Like I guess it's kind of like they wanted to take the wide appeal of Dragon Ball and put it to everybody, so they thought they just had to like hit everybody over the head with like stuff that they would recognize, when instead it's like, no, like if you put the story out the way it's supposed to be, it's it should work. Which, I mean, overall I think that's my biggest fear as we start going into all these movies, and my fear and hope once we get towards the end of the year when Alita comes out, just because Robert Rodriguez, who's a Mexican storyteller, is in a different position. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. But for me, like, it took out, like, especially Gohan's death.
Ooh, it hurt.
Like, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, you're taking away all significance here, aren't you?
Pretty much. And I mean, like, I don't think I realized, like, how much significance they were taking away from it. And, like, just, like, now, as we're talking about just, like, the source versus the movie, like, how much was taken out of it, like, just the little changes they kept doing throughout the movie. Like, go hams, death, God, that hurts to say. And his death being altered changes, like, while Goku blames himself for not being there, like, boy, you being there wouldn't have been nothing. Piccolo still would have kicked your ass. And he just would have gotten Dragon Ball. That would have done nothing.
Exactly.
So, that's point one, but it's like having Goku actually transform and like going through that, like, oh, now there's your inner struggle. There's you you have to now control the power that's inside of you, and like it's just so many things that could have been changed. It didn't have to be changed. It didn't have to be this way. We could have actually had a decent American live action anime movie, but instead we got this pile of garbage. I mean. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to think of what else. Like, well, Master Roshi. Huh?
I was gonna say Chi-Chi.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about our girl Chi-Chi, because, like, they did Chi-Chi and Bulma the worst in this movie.
I mean, I could have taken a shot every time I got a cleavage shot of Chi-Chi, and I would have had, like, liver failure.
Yeah, the over-sexualization of Chi-Chi, I was just like, I'm done.
Why? Also, who works out in a zip down that's like all the way down your chest? Like, that's not effective for working out.
And fighting.
Yeah.
Because like
it's gonna pop out. Like, why?
Everybody else can be in there like gi, but Chi-Chi can't.
Yeah.
Because granted, Jamie Chung deserves everything for this movie because you know what? She looks like she could fight better than everybody in the movie. She actually looks like
other than Chow Yun Fat.
Huh?
Other than Chow Yun Fat.
Oh yeah, true. Him. Yes. But yeah, it's just like Chi-Chi. I mean, and I hate it. Like, I didn't notice it the first time, but then like she's like, just because my name is Chi-Chi, I'm not an idiot. I'm like, hold on, who's implying that Chi-Chi is dumb? And then like, oh, the writers are implying that she's dumb.
Like, why are you? Yeah, like, why are you thinking that the name Chi-Chi? Like, what about that automatically makes her dumb? Because
his name is Goku. She can be named Chi-Chi.
Thank you. Bulma is somehow not idiotic. Like,
yeah.
Like, no, like none of they didn't. They had to put that in there. And the other thing that really bugged me is like she's this like popular girl who secretly likes fighting, but she can't tell anybody that she likes fighting. And it's like this. Yeah, this is the daughter of the damn Ox King.
Yeah,
she is the daughter of the Ox King. She is extremely formidable in combat for a human. And guess what? That's why Goku ends up marrying her. Not because he has some creepy ass Chi-Chi eating strawberry fantasies in the middle of class.
That was so bad.
Also, why? Who sits there and says, you know what's gonna be sexy? Her eating strawberries. That's what it's gonna be.
I still want to know who pitched that part. I'm like, you know what we need right here? Her eating strawberries in class, and that's what's gonna make him fall in love. I'm like, yeah. Also, the fact that Goku had no interest in Chi-Chi in the source material at all until he found out, like, oh, you're a good fighter too. He just he liked her as a person, and he's like, oh, you're a good fighter. I don't even understand what marriage is, but sure, I'll marry you. His like lovable ignorance of not knowing things, but just like, I know that I love you, so yeah, I'll marry you. I'm like, perfect. That is a better love story than what you guys gave us here.
Yeah, and like, I guess what they were trying to do is, like, I feel like they were trying to, like, overcorrect that she's a great fighter and she's not automatically obsessed with him. Because, like, in the source material, Chi-Chi is, like, pretty obsessed with him from, like, early on. But then it's like, but you didn't actually beef up her fighting capabilities or make her proud of that. So all you did was, like, nerf the hell out of her character.
Yeah.
Had Goku roundhouse kick her in the face. Yep. And, like, she does nothing.
Yeah.
Like, Chi-Chi.
I know, and she deserves so much better, because again, she's like, in Dragon Ball, they meet, she's like this little badass, and then they meet again when they're older, and she's still this little badass, and she wins the World Fighting Championship against him. So it's kind of like, I hate the fact that they chose, we talked about this, I think, a little bit ago, or just like, femininity and like masculinity, and it's like, of course she can't be both. Of course she can't be strong and feminine, but so y'all made us choose that she must like keep her fighting a secret. Oh darn, my recording just stopped. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
What is happening? Oh no. Are we still backed up?
Yeah, we're still backed up.
You want to just keep going? Because I don't know what's going on with this thing. I need to save it. What the heck? Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Ignore the typing. Okay. Yeah, I still have no idea what happened.
You're good. It's Audacity problem. The free program problems will happen.
I know. Now it's working now, so I don't know. Okay. Maybe it did record. Well, we have backup either way, so we will find out.
Either way, just press play and let's go. We will have so many files, we'll figure something out to do with them. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Okay. Do you want to just go through, since we've just gone through each character? I feel like let's talk about what's his name? Yamcha, the other character that I hate the most.
I think everybody hates Yamcha.
Everyone does. And I just feel like, you know what, they did right in this one. They made me hate him even more.
Exactly. Weird ass casting choice. I guess not necessarily casting choice, but costume design choice, I guess.
Horrible. So bad. All the costume design in this was horrible. Just terrible. Goku's gi, boneless clothes,
Also, Goku getting his gi, I found it in this bag. Let's go into my epic fight clothes that everybody knows.
That you get. You know what? Let's not do that. I'm it is.
It hurts. It hurts.
It hurts so much.
The inaccuracy hurts.
It does. And the pants. His pants.
Oh my gosh. Please, somebody, did the costume. Let me hem his pants for him. Because he's already a tiny man. Can I just hem these so he looks a little bit longer? No. We're going to give him, these giant, 1930s sailor pants that just, dust the ground as he walks.
Instead of just giving him the pants and the boots. Because you could have just given us boots. There are cosplayers that do this on a budget.
Hire them.
Hire cosplayers. God, if there's any more American live anime adaptations coming, I know someone's talking about Lionsgate making a Naruto movie. For the love of God, hire some freaking cosplayers. I don't want it. I'm saying it now, I don't want it. But if it's gonna happen, at least hire people who know what they're doing.
See, I think that's because there's also Gundams in the talks now, and it's one of those things where I'm you know what, I don't want any of this because I'm also at the point where I don't want any more reboots.
I don't.
Or adaptations. Just stop already. I don't need this.
Unless it's gargoyles. Sorry, that's the only one I want.
I'd be good with that. I'd be very good with that because it's long overdue. For me, I was Gabriel Luna is going to be in the next Terminator movie. Oh, yeah, the Mexican American. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm but do we really need a Terminator movie? Could we not just get a new original franchise?
Yeah.
It does nothing for me. But anyway, back to the main topic.
Yeah.
I'm with you in the fact that, we don't need any of these things. I don't want any of these things.
Yeah.
But at least hire some people who, have some passion for the source material, know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe look at a couple of character drawings. I don't even care if it's fan art that they look at this point. Just look at something.
And it's not that. I am what I like to call a low maintenance cosplayer. I literally look at things. I'm just I got that leather jacket. I just need some fishnets and a bodysuit. I can be Black Canary. That's what I do. I'm I don't make my things. However, I know people who make things themselves look identical to the characters, or they look, the clothing looks awesome. So it's just the clothing in this, I just feel it was just every bad peak early 2000 clothing choice. Because I think you pointed out the t-shirt with pants.
God!
The dress
when the
with
two
pants.
Chi-Chis are fighting, that god-awful, I don't know what fabric type, white dress over the jeans with some knee-high boots.
Who thought that was cute? And they're the ugly boots. They're the ones that scrunch up and don't stay up.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Everything was terrible. And I'm just God, there are so many horrible, leather jackets everywhere. People wearing leather jackets, plaid, in the 2000s where guys leather jackets are a thing. They're wearing a suit, a tie with a plaid shirt with the leather jacket zipped up all the way. I'm just this is all making me very cringy and giving me flashbacks of bad high school dances. I just I can't.
And none of it fits them right. None of it's fitted.
None of it's fitted. It just, I really want to know, like, if this was in development since 2002, how did you, like, do all this and, like, oh my God, how?
What were you doing? Like,
what were you doing? I just, like, and I can't remember, did Avatar The Last Airbender come out before this movie did? I feel like it did.
I think it came out after. Let me do a quick search.
Like, because
I think, yeah, it came out 1 year after in 2010.
Never mind. I was going to be like, you could learn things from other people's mistakes. Like, that.
I mean, M. Night Shyamalan could have learned from these damn mistakes.
That is true. That is also true. Because, like, the pronunciation of characters' names, please don't change them to make them sound more accurately correct as you think they would sound. Again, whitewashing. Stop doing it. We don't need it. There's no reason why, in a world where there's an alien, why we can't have an Asian Goku. There are Asian male leads everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. I don't want to hear that.
Like, one of the Asian male leads.
Yes. I can't believe you had, like
it hurts. It just hurts.
Because I'm like, you cast, like, two other Asian characters in this movie. I guess correctly. I'm gonna say that because at least they did that correctly. But you wouldn't cast Goku and Bulma as the main lead. But Chi-Chi, yes, good. I'm glad that Chi-Chi was actually done right. I'm just like, because I don't know, I think during the time this was coming out, I remember it's like people were arguing that, like, since they were giving the argument that, like, well, Goku doesn't really have an ethnicity. But I'm just like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but I would still give him Japanese. I would still cast an Asian actor as him. Yeah. Like, I would not have gone.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. Like, for me, it's kind of like I can see where that argument is, because I do know that was, like, there are some anime, but see, that's the thing though. Like, there are some animes that are completely detached from Japan. So Alita Battle Angel takes place in a dystopian United States.
Mm-hmm.
But Dragon Ball, like, it is closer to Japan than not, given the architecture that's shown, given how the lettering on their clothing, it is closer to being a purely a not racially defined thing, but obviously defined by Asian culture because of where it comes from. Yes. Because people who create things imbue it with their culture. Yes. So, like, let's not make Justin... And not even that. Like, they couldn't even cast, like, a good Goku. Like, they couldn't even pick, like, a... Oh, okay.
I want to know what his audition... Oh, we should find the audition tapes.
Ooh.
Sorry, we're going to cackle a lot.
Oh, this is perfect.
Oh, God, we have to find an audition tape.
They have to be out there.
They have to be somewhere. And I want to know if that guy wants them to be burned forever. Because, fun fact, I realized when watching this that Bulma and Goku are actually Jimmy and Fiona from Shameless. And that is, like, the most enjoyment I got out of this whole movie, besides drinking my alcohol as I watched. Because I was just like, pause. I know him. And then I'm like, I know her. I'm like, oh, they bang each other in Shameless. And I'm just like, oh, this gives me disgust also now. But I was just like, oh, God. Like, that's, like, the one other connection I have from this movie. Or, like, fun fact that I just feel like, I guess it's a fun fact, but it just gives me still so much discomfort. Mm-hmm. Because the two most important characters, I would say, in the whole entire movie, in their casting and their design, everything was terrible. And
like, and the other thing is too, because I've heard people go, well, it's an Asian director and Asian producer. I believe it's a Chinese director and a Chinese producer, which like Chinese and Japanese are not the same thing. The same way Mexican and Colombian are not the same thing. We have our own distinct cultures.
Yes.
We can't speak for each other, and we also can't speak for the experiences of Latinx communities in the U.S. versus in our, in where our heritage come from. Like, these are different things, and you can't conflate them. And so like Stephen Chow, who produced the movie, he's like a really, really big Hong Kong like film director and actor, and like he has a big name behind him, but it's like it doesn't mean that he knows, one, what's right for this, or two, absolves him from any of the stuff that he did in, you know, like, or any him or James Wong or even Ben Ramsey, who is also now white. Like, it doesn't absolve them from like going with like our standards of what we assume people want. We assume people want just a white lead. We assume people want this like this shriveled, delicate flower of a Goku who is passive. Because people can't stand or already have somebody superpowered be superpowered. Like it's all these assumptions of like what people think Americans want. And in a way, like I think this film really highlights.
Sorry, you were hearing a toddler having a tantrum. I swear it's not mine. I have no children. That is my little brother having a tantrum. I will try to edit that noise out. My bad.
Like this movie really feels like they, and I think I already said it, but like they took like the shell and they wanted to make it more consumable for American audiences without realizing that American audiences already love the hell out of Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball franchise. And so it's like, it's almost like talking down to you, like, this is what you really want. It's like, no, this is not what I want.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, nobody wanted this. I don't think anybody wanted this. Or at least they didn't want it the way they made it. And I feel like, because, again, studios assume that we want the lead to look a certain way, because if they look differently, then they assume like, oh, no one's going to see it. Because again, this is 2009. I would say we've progressed a little bit. I mean, yes, I will say
solidly. I do think we've gone. I think this year, and then I guess just speaking from like the Latinx perspective, like we don't have a lot. But we have a lot more this year than we've had, especially in sci-fi and fantasy, than we've ever had. It's not enough.
It's definitely not enough. But I would say, like, it's change is coming, and I want it to be more. As I hope, you know, like things are going to get better with like any American studios that want to make more live action adaptations for like these anime that people like really like. I don't know how I feel about it, like, as far as people being, like, learning from their past mistakes, because you would think Dragon Ball Evolution was enough of a lesson for anyone to be like, we should not drastically change the source material.
Yeah.
But then we have things like Death Note, and, well, Netflix is Death Note, so...
Ooh. Yeah, which that's a whole other thing. It'll get its own episode.
Yeah, it will deserve its own episode. Maybe just like a 3-part episode where we talk about the Japanese ones and then the American ones. And
I mean, because like I think that there's like, so I don't want to say that there can't ever be good adaptations from another culture.
Oh yeah.
But I do think that doing that, there has to be an understanding on what piece, like an understanding and a respect, right, for the source material, and how I can understand wanting to port something over and make it, make it more I don't want to say relevant, but like, maybe shift the setting because this is, maybe the city doesn't really matter that much, but what matters is, the character psychology. Like there has to be enough of a care. Like people have to give some shits to actually pulling apart what makes this material this. And I think that when we start changing, specifically shonen characters, right? Because shonen characters are very formulaic. And if you change a piece of that shonen formula, you end up with characters that are unrecognizable, like Goku. Probably the most well known of shonen. Like this was a lot of people's like gateway in the US, right? And it's one of those things where you have to understand what is essential and you need to preserve that. And so making these tiny changes that really don't need to be there, it doesn't make sense. And I think that that's something that I hope you're right. I hope more people realize. I don't think they will. Because I think that I just think that movie studios see dollar signs.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, we'll take this it happens in horror I'm a huge horror fan. And so it happens in horror all the time. But what people don't realize is what makes horror scary or scary movies scary is because they're scary because of our societal and cultural fears, which is why some things just don't transfer over well because they don't have the same relevance. And it's the same type in any storytelling, and it's the same in shonen and shoujo and all of the, the anime subcategories. And I think until there's a respect for that, we're going to keep ending up with slightly less bad Dragonball Evolutions.
True. And I mean, sadly. To the point, sadly. But to your point, as we said, movie studios love money. And we have to laugh at the irony of this is that, they really blew, a $1 billion franchise with this, one movie. Because they could have been this could have been, the MCU for Dragon Ball Z. This could have, they easily could have made 7 movies off of this one franchise and kept going as much as they wanted had they, maybe done a better job.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god. You think about it, the potential to have, keep making movies, because, as we know, Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball have hella, so many episodes. So, instead of trying to cram the entire series into one movie, just trying to take chips of it and make a trilogy, I think that would have even solved a problem. But in addition to a better story, some problems, giving Goku actual self-esteem and not making him you start to hate him as he gets his confidence, which is weird.
Yeah, well, because they turned him into it's not Goku's cockiness works when he's a child because he's a child.
He's a child.
When you put that into a, I guess he's 18, because he turns 18, his 18th birthday. When you put that into a man, that's what he is, it just comes off as him being an ass.
Yeah. Just he's just assuming that oh yeah, I can beat Chi-Chi. I'm just I want her to kick your ass so badly right now. Just so please, Chi-Chi, kill him. Oh, yes. Oh, Aubrey.
Okay, so I do have to say this. I am amazed to know that you can master your ki by thirsting for someone. That was
true.
All I know is that if I keep a picture of Chris Evans on my phone and I need to harness my ki in a moment's notice, I can light all the torches in the room by using that thirst.
Oh my god, the temptation of getting to kiss her really fueled his entire, not the fact that the world was at stake, not the fact that everyone would die on the planet because Piccolo was going to destroy everything. You wanting to kiss Chi-Chi is what gave you enough motivation to learn how to use your ki. Also, can we talk about how a Kamehameha can also bring someone back to life?
Yes. And on that note, can we talk about how I remember yelling Kamehameha on my playground in a much more passionate way than these actors did?
Yes. I would scream Final Flash so loudly and with much more gusto than with yo, you're supposed to have fun with it. This is you charging up your attack. Exactly. And I'm have fun with it. It's this just looks awkward and sad. But oh my god, I'm just he really brought him back with the Kamehameha. Okay, sure.
And a pained Kamehameha. It wasn't even it was a pained silent one. Yeah. That brings somebody to death. Or somebody to life.
Because we couldn't just have a sensu bean. Well, and on
top of that, though, too, couldn't Goku had just used that to bring Roshi back instead of blowing his Dragon Ball wish?
The one perfect wish. But no, because we need a plot device so that we will want to go and have a sequel. Because here's a surprise that got me at the end. I didn't know there was a post-credit scene, and I sure as hell didn't know the Piccolo was still alive in the post-credit scene. And he just turns around are you shacking up with this woman? Who is this woman? And why is she taking I just need an explanation. I'm like, who is this woman that felt the need to take care of you in her home? Like, no, it should have ended with Piccolo dying. Well, sorry, King Piccolo dying, and then like the little egg Piccolo being born.
Exactly.
Then that's where I'm like, yes, that is perfect. Like, then I will accept this. But no, instead Piccolo is just alive and pops out as, yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I just remembered when Goku transformed into like the werewolf ape thing, like because that was terrible too.
It was so bad.
Like, I want to know how it left.
Stretching with him and stuff,
and then going back to their original size. I was like, okay, cool. And then like he's supposed to be so much bigger. What happened with that?
Yeah, but like, no offense to short people at all, but like, Goku was tiny, and Ape Goku was tiny, and Ape Goku is supposed to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. But it's like, you're an inch taller.
Also, let's just do this, because I feel like we have like a whole bunch of like, let's talk about we're like creating a new segment. But like, okay, obviously since like they cut out a lot of characters from like the source material that should have been in here, I feel like Krillin, as much as I don't care that much about Krillin, but like I do at least respect him. Krillin should have made the cut instead of Yamcha.
Thank you. I thought that exact same thing. I was like, wait, you got Yamcha, but you don't have Krillin? You're gonna put him in high school and you don't have Krillin with him?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't have just like transferred that out, like give us a little buddy good chemistry interaction. Like maybe that would have made up for some stuff, but no.
Maybe we would have been cool. Maybe we would have been okay if like they at least had a cameo of Krillin at the monastery.
Yes,
because Krillin is a monk, was raised by monks, and all that. But then like also like Yamcha's little cat friend was there. I can't remember its name, but I would have preferred that over Yamcha. There's just like so many characters I would have preferred over Yamcha being in this movie. But at least Yamcha was properly casted. That's all I can say. I was gonna ask, is there any more like because you've kind of gone through the discussion in the source versus the movie? Is there anything else like you want to kind of like? I feel like there's so much more we can dig into. Like we don't see flying Nimbus. I would have loved to see flying Nimbus.
That would have been an easy fan service thing to do. Which I guess too, like I think that's one of the biggest things that struck out to me is like I guess this is like before the age of like Easter eggs and fan service because there was none in this movie.
Yeah, which I was reading through the Rotten Tomatoes comments and people were like, "Oh, people from the original fans of the original Dragon Ball will love like the Easter eggs." I'm like, "What Easter eggs?
There were none.
There are no Easter eggs. There's nothing."
You said Gohan and you gave the grandpa the right name.
Yeah, that's it. That is literally it. And then, like, what is this about 6 or 7 warriors putting Piccolo in a jar and burying it underground? And Gohan is apparently one of those. I'm just like, where is this? What is this nonsense?
And LaNeysha, I'm sorry, it's Gohan. You gotta say it right.
I don't want to. You can't make me. Gohan. See, it hurts to say it.
So bad.
It hurts to say it that way. There's so many things.
Yeah, you got Boob Window Lady.
Oh, Boob Widow Lady. What was up with that wig? What was up with everyone's hair?
Yeah, all that.
Her hair.
Like, and the only person you don't give a wig to is Goku, and you try to actually, like, 90s hair glue, like, something about marry his hair to look spiky, like...
It just looks terrible because I'm like, you know what? I believe with the proper wig budget, this could have been turned around. And
even half of a proper wig budget, this could have been turned around.
I am very displeased with Piccolo taking care of his hinge people. Like, you only have one hinge person. You couldn't at least like afford to give her a proper wig or whatever she is, because character development for her. Which I'm not surprised she's a hinge person, but again, you can transform. I don't know who she is or who she's supposed to be. She's
nobody. I think she just got made up for it.
Yeah, no, she really did. Because I'm just like, okay, who are you supposed to be? Like, you can transform with the use of somebody's blood, and that's it? Like, that's all we get? Okay, yeah. I was exhausted at some point. So I was just like, man, I thought, like, cool. I was just like, I've seen worse movies since then. But I'm like, nope, this is still the worst one. So I still hold true to my fact, at least in my mind, until I'm proven wrong, that Dragon Ball Evolution is the worst movie ever. And I have yet to find anything that is worse.
We'll be tested.
We will. We have a long way to go. I still have to actually watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. I never thought I'd have to watch it, but I am. But with alcohol, that makes it better.
That's the better thing.
Also, make sure you guys drinking responsibly with us.
Yes. So I do want to say that the writer, Ben Ramsey, he did put out an apology for the movie.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I'm going to read that. Yes. Ben Ramsey says, I knew that it would eventually come down to this one day. Dragon Ball Evolution marked a very painful creative point in my life. To have something with my name on it as the writer to be so globally reviled is gut-wrenching. To receive hate mail from all over the world is heartbreaking. I spent so many years trying to deflect the blame, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the written word on page, and I take full responsibility for what was such a disappointment to so many fans. I did the best I could, but at the end of the day, I dropped the Dragon Ball. I went into the project chasing after a big payday, not as a fan of the franchise, but as a businessman taking on an assignment. I have learned that when you go into a creative endeavor without passion, you come out with suboptimal results and sometimes flat out garbage. So I'm not blaming anyone for Dragon Ball but myself. As a fanboy of other series, I know what it's like to have something you love and anticipate be so disappointing. I hope I can make it up to you by creating something really, really cool and entertaining that you will like, and that is also something I am passionate about. That's the only work I do now. Best, Ben.
Have you done that yet?
I don't know. Let's do it quick. I mean, I think it really comes off, like, I think we kind of talked about, like, if you don't care about what you're doing,
why do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. A check is a check. We all have our student loans out here. We're just trying to pay them off and live without debt. But it is, I appreciate him being visible, and I do appreciate the apology. Does it make me hate the movie less? No. But, like, I will honestly say I've never sent hate mail as much as I hate this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I would never.
Oh, yeah. And I think that that's something where it's like, you can hate something, but to actually, like, harass or send hate, well, that's a whole nother level of get a damn life.
Yeah. That is not what we do here on Did You Have to? We like to focus on the fact that, like, we just don't like this thing. Yeah. So we gave it another try. Or we're giving this thing a try, and then we're giving you guys our honest opinion.
Exactly. So. And I think that that's something that, like, it's really weird because we live, like, in such a connected world now that people are like, I'm going to tell you how much I hate your movie. You don't have to do that. Just don't watch it again.
Don't attack the cast.
Is it really that hard?
Yeah, like, don't attack the cast because you just like the characters. Don't attack the writers and staff. Like, I think I've always thought of it as, like, there's more moving parts than we know about it. Yeah. Like, we don't know who made the final decision. Obviously, we know people who did, but it's kind of like, who made the decision to have it set as their high schoolers? Who made the decision to have,
did the director have more power? Did the producer say, no, I'm going to tie your hands this way? Did the studio say, well, I'm only going to give you money if you cast this person?
That's the stuff we don't know.
Exactly. Like, there's so many pieces to movies that to cast blame on one person, like, it just doesn't make sense. And for me, also, like, blaming actors is always the stupidest thing because they have the least control over anything.
Like, especially, like, after, I think this is timely to say because, like, the guy who played Jar Jar Binks, I'm like, he like, it came out that he contemplated suicide because of how much hate he got from it. And again, it's not the actors we should have our issues with. It's like, be upset with, like, people who treat their source material. Be upset with, like, the direction it went, but, like, never hate these people. Never threaten people with hate mail. That's too far. I don't go there.
Oh, but. Yeah, and at the end of the day, they're people like you said, you got student loans. People have to get paid. People have to do work, and ultimately, like, you make some bad choices, and that's fine. And personally, I don't like The Last Jedi at all. But guess what? I don't blame Kelly Mary Tran for having a badly written Rose. I blame Rian Johnson. Guess what? I'm not writing and tagging Rian Johnson and stuff because I don't care. I'm just not going to watch the movie again. That's it.
Yep, exactly.
Unless you have a podcast and watch the movie again, talk about it on the podcast, and don't add anybody because it's stupid.
Agreed. I don't like it when people add people. It's just...
That's always like the marking of a troll too. Like they're actually going to at like the development studio or like they're not going to read that. Like nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, like,
how big do you think you are?
Exactly. It's not even that big of a deal. Now, if they did something wrong, and I'm talking about like Me Too movement wrong, then I'm gonna tag them. Yeah. Then I'll do that. But me disagreeing with somebody's work on something, there's no reason for me to hate that kind of stuff.
Because it's like, is this real life and is it affecting anybody? Or is this a movie that you can just shut up about and not deal with again?
Agreed. Which let us vow to never watch this movie again. At least I vow to never watch it again unless someone pays me to do it.
I am very happy that that it was on Stars on Demand, and I somehow still have a Stars subscription on my Amazon Prime account.
Nice. I'm jealous. I went for the SD copy. I wasn't paying HD for that. I paid
you don't want to see those awesome car flying through the air CG and HD.
No. Which reminds me, again, fighting was terrible.
It was terrible. And it was so bad for who was involved too. Like you actually had dudes who are known for fight choreography.
Yep.
And it was atrocious.
Agreed. Which reminds me, about the poll regarding when I said, like, a serious question, who would win in a fight? Iron Fist, aka Tinfoil Fist from the Netflix series, or Goku from Dragonball Evolution. Yes, that is right, I said Evolution. And y'all surprised me and Goku won. I
voted Iron Fish.
I know, and I appreciate that vote, but I also am just like, I did not pick anybody, because when I thought about it, I was just like, what is this fight gonna look like in my head? You know, I'm imagining the characters as I said them, whereas like, I wonder if some people honestly still felt like Goku, because it's Goku, instead of like, no y'all, I mean this Goku as he's fighting right now. But apparently 20 of you thought that Goku would beat him in this fight, so...
All I know is I feel like I am buffer than both of those dudes.
I would agree. I would say that I should have made a third option where Chi-Chi beats them all.
Yes, and Chi-Chi would have won.
And Chi-Chi would have won by a freaking sucker punch. Yeah. So, let's see. I think we've hit the discussion. We've talked about the source versus the movie. We're now on to ratings. Unless you had anything else you want to add about source versus movie.
No, I mean, I guess the laziness of making Roshi just have like a sexy girl on his shirt, and that was Roshi's personality.
Yeah.
And just a complete waste of Chow Yun Fat as
agreed.
Or Roshi. Call him Yoshi. That's all he deserves. He deserves to be called Yoshi.
He does. No, I agree, because that's true. They did kind of just like, he's like supposed to be like this. Because you get, like, the whole, like, stage-wise, like...
But then you also get, like, the Japanese trope of, like, the creepy, like, old, like, hentai man.
Yes. And then, like, that's kind of, like... I guess people love Roshi. Like,
I don't know why they love Roshi. He's creepy. I think he's creepy.
Pedophilic. We can say it. Pedophilic. Like, very, very much so. But people love him. I don't get it. Maybe it's because, like, you know, he's goofy and he's funny and, like, he has his moments. And, like, in the American version, I think they definitely tamed it down a lot.
As they do with all anime.
Well, as they do. Because our parents would be up in an uproar in banning Dragon Ball if they saw how Roshi really was.
What it actually came out as?
Oh, it would have been bad. Like, the scene, like, I remember from, like, the scene where Bulma, like, Roshi wants to see Bulma's panties, which, again, creepy. Very, very creepy. And, like, Bulma realizes that her panties are gone, and thank God that wasn't in this movie. So that's good. That's good.
I guess actually I'm thinking back to like all of like the like there's a lot of perviness in Dragon Ball. Like the fact that it's shonen and not was it seinen or seinen SEINEN, like the adult version, like what Berserk and like I guess because it's not dark, it's not that.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a lot of this where I'm like, this is, like, ecchi-esque.
Yeah.
And I'm like, It's been a long time since I've watched Dragon Ball, but...
I don't know. See, here's the thing. I've watched bits and pieces of Dragon Ball, but I've never sat down and watched it from episode 1 to episode whatever. just because I don't have time and I don't know where to find those for streaming purposes. So I will just continue to watch Dragon Ball Super, which I love because they slander Goku all the time, and they basically, it's a Vegeta show, and I'm happy about that. So I'm going to stay over there.
Dragon Ball we want.
It's the Dragon Ball I've wanted this entire time, and I'm just like, wow, you guys finally did it. You finally did it. Like, Goku, you finally aren't comparing Goku as the greatest of them all, and Vegeta is on par with him. Thank you. Finally.
And I think too, like, I guess, like, as much as it's funny because I feel like when people listen to this, they're like, "Oh my God, Kate just loves Dragon Ball." No, actually, more. But I have respect for the source material.
Yeah. Again, me too. Because I have a disclaimer. I have a complicated relationship with Dragon Ball. Whereas it's like, is it my gateway anime? Yes.
Oh,
do I primarily love it for Vegeta? Yes. So that's really it. I don't really care about anybody else except for Vegeta, Trunks, and I'm talking about the future Trunks, not his son Trunks, the little boy, and specifically teenage Goku, Gohan, yes. Teenage Gohan when he was actually badass, and I'm talking about 13 years old when he was a badass. Now he got older. And Piccolo. That is it. That is it. I don't care about anybody else. And 18, because she was the first freaking woman that we saw besides Chi-Chi that could fight, but during like Dragon Ball Z era, where who she could fight and beat people's asses.
Yep.
Now my rant
is so awesome. And I just love that Android 18 is with Krillin. Like, it's like adorable.
They are adorable.
It's like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It is. See, wow, Dragon Ball Z has its like, it has our sore spots for us because like sometimes it's like, okay, this is trash. It's you guys have been spending 8 episodes on Goku charging up that spirit bomb, and I'm tired. Whereas it's like you kind of like can't help but sometimes watch it. And I'm the first one to tell people, I'm like, it is not the greatest anime ever because there's been better things to come. But I do appreciate the source.
Yeah. I think like for me, like I think Sailor Moon was my gateway anime for sure. And then for Dragon Ball specifically, I watched it after I watched Dragon Ball Z, like through entire, like I had seen like bits and pieces, then I went back and sat and watched it all. And like I'm a type, like, and honestly, I watch so much anime now I'm watching a lot of anime again, but I watched a lot of those dubs because I'm the type of person that like I have to have something on while I'm working.
Yeah.
And so I just like have it playing in the background. So, I mean, Dragon Ball doesn't have as much a place in my heart as Dragon Ball Z does. And I think it's just because of like the character dynamics. And I mean, I don't like children, so I don't like watching children anything. But I can admit, like, I do think like the characterizations, like I respect it so much and I still like it. It's just not my favorite, but I understand why people gravitate to it. And I also understand too that it's just like, I'm not the audience for that. And that's fine. So yeah, but no, all of it is infinitely better than this hot trash mess of Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yes, agreed. So with that being said, how do we want to rate this?
Okay, so I think your rating scale should be a 1 to 10 drinks. So, like, 10 drinks will be the worst.
Okay.
Because we needed 10 drinks. Now, disclaimer, we're not actually drinking 10 drinks. We probably but we'll just use this at a rating scale because I'm going to, on butwhythoughpodcast.com, I'll be keeping a list of everything we watch and where we rank it. And you can, stay tuned in with that. And so just for our rating scale, I am going to give it 10 drinks out of 10 drinks.
Yep.
Because, I could never watch this sober.
Yep. That goes for me too. So make mine a double. Sorry, I can't help myself, guys. But make mine a double. 10 out of 10. I wish to never ever see this again unless someone pays me to watch it. So if we ever start a Patreon, that'll be a reward. Punish Nisha by making her watch Dragon Ball Evolution again. But it's going to cost y'all a lot of money. So, never. But no, just, 10 out of 10. Absolutely. You need something to get you through this movie. It's either laughter or alcohol. I had both.
Yeah, I feel like you either I feel like it's one of those things, and this is what I'm really happy about with the live tweets, is I think like getting to tweet this out and getting responses from people like, oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't believe we're doing this. Like getting that like community aspect is the best thing. And just like getting to watch it. I'm gonna try and get my partner Matt, who's also my co-host on my other podcast, to watch at least one of these with me, because his anime recaps are the best things in the world.
Yes, I also request that Matt join us down this trip, down this path, because it'll be so fun. And I love just like the recap he gave for Sailor Moon, and like this is perfect. And Akira, oh, that is such a good one. If you guys haven't checked that out, I think, is it on your guys' Patreon still?
Yeah, we have the clip on there. I'll put it in the show notes. It's Pill Guy, and then Pill Guy comes back.
Pill Guy and Baby Falls from the Sky. Oh yes, Matt has to watch at least. We have to make it a good one though, so I'm like, I vote for Attack on Titan or the Rurouni Kenshin. Matt joins us. So
that would be good.
Yeah, we'll have to open it up with the episode with him giving his recap.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we think about it, and that's our ratings, and we're sticking to them forever and ever and ever. We'll never watch this again. I also want to add one more thing. I hated how they treated Shinron. Done. Okay.
You mean Shenlong?
What did they do? Is that what they call him? Is that how they call him?
Shenlong?
I did not. Oh, I hate that.
I had the captions on. Shenlong?
Shinron is supposed to be this giant dragon that wraps around the entire world, and he speaks. And that was like the one. And he's supposed to be green, and he's supposed to be very intimidating. And they didn't even summon him right. I'm done. Let's say something nice. We have to say one thing at least nice about this movie. Kate, you want to go first?
Yes. Yeah. So I will say this. I went ahead and looked it up real quick. So what they did is Shenlong is the actual Chinese mythological dragon.
Okay.
But Shenron is the damn dragon from the anime, which is what you should have named him. Stop being cute.
Stop trying to be like M. Night Shyamalan and make things culturally appropriate, but you're not really making it. I'm not going to go there. It's weird.
Yeah, and I mean too. Like honestly, like I'm not a cultural expert. I don't read Japanese, or I don't read Chinese. I'm not. Those aren't those things. So if you do know, and you do know what influences, Dragon Ball Z, let me know. I just feel it's a little weird to have Shenlong from Chinese mythology in Dragon Ball when it's Shenron.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Something that is good. Texas Battle.
Yeah.
My boy Texas Battle. The Texas Battle I don't even know his name in the movie, but
he's the black guy.
Yeah. There are two of them, Nisha. There's
Ernie Hudson. Yeah. That was a good. There's my good thing. Ernie Hudson was in this movie, and I like Ernie Hudson. He's from Ghostbusters, and he's also from other great things like Grace and Frankie. Ernie Hudson, there. Cool, we did it. Two good things. The Texas Battle is the best name I have ever heard.
Yep. If you followed us during Twitter, she was like, "Oh, I wonder if that's a stage name." So I looked it up. It is not. If it is a stage name, he embraces it. To the most of it, in his bio reads, as the song states, "The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas." That's what Texas Battle has: heart and desire for acting. The young man is taking Hollywood by storm the past couple of years. He will now be one of daytime's hottest hunks, as he just started a 3-year contract role on The Bold and the Beautiful. Later this year, his next feature will be released, Dragon Ball, for Fox. Dragon Ball with a space in between them, by the way. Opposite Justin Chatwin and Fat Cho. Hailed as one of the biggest comic books / cartoon series to ever come out of Asia, the film is expected to do quite well internationally at the end of this year. Just going to stop it there. And then the very last line is, Texas resides in Los Angeles.
Texas Battle, shout out to you, sir. Shout out to you.
I love you. I hope your life is full of goodness.
Yes. I hope you made it out of this movie, all right? I mean, Justin and Emma Rossum, I believe that's Bulma's character, actress name. They seem to be okay. They seem to be doing fine. So if anyone else deserves to be doing all right, it is.
Make it out.
He didn't?
No.
Oh. Shout out to you, sir. We salute you. We're not laughing at his career failing. We swear. It's just like, damn, that bio. They should update that bio.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, you might want to update it a little bit.
Yeah. Update it, embrace how bad the movie was, and maybe he sticks to
lean into it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely lean to it. I just, they needed a bully, and they chose the character of color to be the bully in this movie, and that is okay, and you did a great job. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh, okay, so his name isn't Texas. He is from Texas. He's from Houston, Texas. But his real name is Clifton Quincy Battle. Why did he keep that? That's a good name.
I think that's a pretty good name.
That's a good acting name.
Clifton. People could take it seriously.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe it's like Chuck Norris. Maybe he just wanted a really strong Texas battle. Lone Star Ranger.
Oh.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna go write some fanfic, some Dragonball Evolution fanfic about Texas becoming the Lone Star Ranger.
Texas battle. It is a great, you could see that as an action hero name.
Yeah, you could. I just know I saw it, I'm from Texas, so I'm just I feel this.
Yes. I'm trying to think of an actual good thing, while I did enjoy Ernie Hudson just popping up randomly and being a black monk and his monastery. I was just okay, cool, Ernie Hudson, look at that. Another thing. As we said before, Vegeta was not in this movie, so I will take that as a blessing, and there's no sequel, so...
That's another blessing. Yeah, I guess...
Oh, Jamie Chung.
Yeah, there we go. I liked her.
Yeah, that is all I have. I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, last thing. Spike from Buffy was actually Piccolo.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So much older.
Yeah.
I saw when I looked up the cast list and I saw his face, I was just who is this guy? Okay, whatever. Wow.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with that.
Thank you, 20th Century Fox.
Thank you.
I mean, it is only 84 minutes, so I guess that's a good thing.
True. That is, oh my God. It was not that long. Oh, Jesus.
It felt like it was long.
It did. I was just can we just get to him becoming a monkey, the giant monkey now? Can we please? Because then I'm then the movie will be almost over. But...
I mean, you got the weremonkey.
The weremonkey, yeah, which wasn't even the size of the great ape, but I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into my little rant about he should have been a giant great ape like they were in the anime, but maybe it's because he doesn't have his tail. I'm not going to go down that path. Just, okay. And then lastly, we are at Did They Have To, where we give our opinions if this movie was really necessary or needed.
I mean...
I think y'all know.
Have to?
Did they? No, they didn't. They really didn't have to. I'm being very blunt, guys.
They didn't have to. They shouldn't have.
Shouldn't, wouldn't, never, just. And I think it just goes back to maybe they thought because it was such a hit culturally that doing these little changes, they felt we have to do it this way. When you really did not have to. You really could have just followed the source material. And I feel this will not be the last time we say this.
Yeah.
But seriously, America, specifically Hollywood, if you're going to make something from another culture that is popular with many people, do not feel you have to change everything about that thing to be acceptable to the masses. People like it the way it is for a reason. So you didn't have to.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the biggest did they have to was the only thing that they thought they had to do was keep the names.
That is true.
That is it.
That is all they did.
They did not think they had to do anything else. I'm sure we'll keep down this road.
Yep.
Personally, I do not think they had to do this.
Yeah, no.
I have to do this.
They didn't have to.
And I will say this. I genuinely hope that we hit a movie and it's like, you know what? They did have to.
Yes.
They did. That was admirable. I hope we get at least one.
I have faith that we will get there. I don't know if it's going to be an American studio made one. My faith for that is very low.
Yeah. I mean, I found Kite, which has Samuel L. Jackson in it.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, that's an anime adaptation? Oh, Jesus. I'm going to look this up.
Yep.
Oh,
that's on one of my list for this first season.
2014. Oh, and one of the main characters has horrible 2000s hair. We're going to watch it.
I feel like this is just going to be like a really... Your eyes.
0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Kate. Kate.
It is 2 stars on IMDb.
They have the nerve to make this cost $5.99 to rent and $7.99 to buy.
What?
They have the nerve. You can buy it for $7.99 on iTunes.
This dude kind of looks like Justin Chatwin in the poster.
You know what? That was probably the look for 2009 to 2000, now.
Yeah.
People wanted, we gotta make him look like a little bit likable, but, also a little cocky. We know what to do. We got this. Oh, God. They've got some damn nerve. They think I'm paying $5.99 for this movie. I'm gonna get a gift card. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that brings us to a close of our first episode. Thank you so much, guys, for listening and sticking with us. And if you joined us for the live tweet, we really appreciate it so much because we need community support to get through things like this from time to time. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So was there anything else we did talk about before we head out?
Nope, not at all. Just, make sure you follow us. I got to write this out. DYHT. Okay. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at DYHT_pod, where we will be live tweeting and you'll get all of our updates when we post our episodes, as well as our drink recipes and for what we're doing next.
Yeah, keep an eye out, guys. We are currently coming up with our list and our schedule for the next live tweet and for the next episode. So again, we want to hear your suggestions. So tweet at us. You can find me at LA_NEY_SHA, and that is LaNeysha on Twitter. But yeah, I want to hear your opinions and any suggestions too for these movies.
And then you can find me at Oh My Myth Randier. I should probably spell that out at some point, but you'll find me. Just sound it out.
That's what show notes are for. We got this. That's what show notes are for.
Show notes material. Yeah, you can find me there tweeting about things. Yeah.
Great.
And that's it.
Yeah. So until next time, guys, I feel like we should have a signing off, but we don't. But
I don't know how to sign off.
Don't do what live action Goku did. Nah, there's gotta be something better. We'll come up with it for next time.
Don't eat strawberries sexily because it's not really sexy.
Got it. Do not wear don't wear dresses with jeans.
Yes, with ugly scrunched up boots.
With ugly scrunched up boots because it doesn't make sense. And goodbye.
Goodbye. I said goodbye.
Good day. Bye, guys.